Hello everyone and happy time zones, it's your bird, Haven the Raven, and welcome to Dark Souls 3 NPC Roulette. This is sort of a, well, an experiment. But I'm going to go through, and aside from starting as the Pyromancer class, because you can't actually start as any of the NPCs, I'm going to be copying NPCs as I make my way through Lothric. I forgot to turn off that Nightbot thing. Hold on. Ignore the Chalice Week password in the chat. I forgot to disable that. Actually, let me go change that right now. Alright, and timer deleted. So this lovely specimen is Mimic. Mimic wants to show up every single Mimic in Lordran by mimicking people instead of chests. This is purely driven by spite. So let us help Mimic on his quest. I'm starting with the Sovereignless Soul this time because I'm pretty much immediately going to need 5 levels in Dexterity. And I'm starting as Pyromancer because that's the closest we can actually get to starting off as one of the characters in this game, and one that... well, this or Cleric. But Pyromancer is more balanced, which will make for an easier time respecking later. Fen, can you not antagonize the cat that hates your guts? But eventually, I am going to have to respec because I need to put a ton of points into Strength, Dexterity, and Endurance and Vitality. Vigor, I don't think I'm going to be able to level at all until I hit the Cathedral, which is... yikes. But what can you do? I thought you'd walked past me. Turns out I was incorrect. I'll go back for the lizard later. I really can't afford to waste a single soul in this early game. Because again, I don't think I'm going to be able to level health at all until I hit Cathedral. And even then, it might not be the smartest thing to level health at that point. Because I need a lot of stats. I think I'm just gonna book it for Udix. And then I'll come back and clean this place up once I've, gotten what I need for my first actual character. For the sake of getting this run off the ground, I'm starting as Pyromancer for the balanced intelligence and faith, because I'm going to need both later, and disqualifying Cornyx from the pool entirely. Yep. Ow. Nice try. Okay, not a bad start to the run. 3,000. Cool. I believe I'm playing offline. Yes. Alright, cool. No risk of human invasions then. I keep checking that spot despite knowing that that is a New Game Plus ring spot. Yep. I will actually clear out here with the fireballs and stuff because once I get the ability to actually use Uchi, I'm stuck on Swordmaster's equipment until I beat Vort. Because Swordmaster is quite literally the only NPC you can get without murdering someone and screwing yourself over. Up until Vort. I checked. Or, well, I did some research. The only NPC that I'm guaranteed going to be murdering this go-around is Yuria. Reason being, murdering her in cold blood will get me access to not only her, but the Pale Shade as well. And she's also one of the few NPCs I can acquire relatively early. Granted, there's a bunch of NPCs that I could technically kill and take the equipment of. But that wouldn't be very smart of me. When you take into consideration how many of them also give stuff during their quest lines. And the teachers that I'm not disqualifying in particular are going to be absolutely broken for this run. And I'll get to that in a bit. Oh, hello, VZ. VZ, essentially, what I'm doing is I have to cosplay, or have my character cosplay as a different NPC to beat every single boss that, is oh, why did I do that? Required to beat the base game. I also intend to attempt the DLCs and do side bosses. But it's essentially a, oh dear. Rather frantic cosplay run. And with that... 16. Okay, that's even worse, actually. Oh. Nope, it's just these two things. Brilliant. Why do I have that there? So I need 16 decks before even heading to the high wall.
Welcome to I tell the law to this very then hey.
Oh boy. Okay, that's doable. That is doable.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the
But this really is just going to be a kind of crazy cosplay run. How many does this give? Okay. 2,000 is a nice pick-me-up. I'm hoping that's enough for 2. That should be enough for 2. Let's go, okay.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the
I'm a lot squishier than I would like to be at this particular point in the game. Like I said, I'm not even going to be able, considering just how much strength and dexterity I need for some of these early NPCs. Why did I talk to you? I'm not even going to be able to level my health until I get to, like, the cathedral or something. I should talk to you, progress your quest.
Don't you worry about it?
Oh! Migwa, hello! How you doing? Thank you for the follow. I didn't even realize you'd come into my streams at all. Have you been lurking? Or have you just been, like, not here and I'm completely misreading that comment? Alright, tree jump. Going to be necessary. Aha! First try! Considering how many souls I need for this run, I'm pretty much never going to be taking off the Silver Serpent Ring. First one you've ever joined. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm hoping that the squishiness will be okay early. I'm a little worried that I'm going to have to skip Curse-Rotted Greatwood and come back to it. Because once you start getting to the mid-game, there's a ton of NPCs that unlock. Particularly if you follow Cirrus's quest. Get back here. What I'm considering an NPC. Obviously, any named character. The teachers are going to wind up being pretty broken NPCs because I'm putting an additional rule on them. So I have to be careful when I use them. Because I can only use each one once. Yes, Silver Cat Ring is nice. Any NPC invader also counts. Bosses count if their equipment is entirely obtainable. For example, I could do Dancer, but I could not do Vort. Like, Dancer counts as an NPC, Vort does not. Okay, you're not going to be useful to me for a while. And obviously the invaders. And even if the NPC doesn't have a name, if it's one of those ones that attacks you, because there's there's a few different sets of NPCs that attack you throughout the game that don't actually have names that the game tells you, but you can acquire their entire set. For example, the Farron Exiles, the Mad Woman, and the two Drang Lake, or the two Drang Knights. Those I'm counting. However, in the case of the Farron Exiles and the Drang Knights, I'll only be allowed to use one of them because while it is technically 2 NPCs, it's 1 encounter. So using, or being allowed to use both of those feels kind of like cheating, and as long as I don't royally mess up, there's enough NPCs in this game to get by without adding those extra ones anyway. My goal here is to beat the game, but if I can also beat the DLC and side bosses, that would be nice. However, there are technically enough to do it. It is probably going to just be a skill issue or skill issue thing on my part. Though I'm genuinely debating just not going after Champion's Gravetender, like, at all. I hate the Gravetender. Gravetender and Midir are my 2 least favorite bosses in this game, and I acknowledge that in the Midir case it is entirely preference, because Midir isn't technically a bad boss, I just really don't like him. Gravetender, however, sucks. There is nothing redeeming about the Gravetender. I need souls. I need all the souls. Oh dear. If I wind up, and this is mostly for early game because there is one I can do for early game. If I wind up stuck in a spot where I can't progress further, I am allowed to use NPCs from past games because this is a sequel. The only one that I would really... or the only 2 that I think are actually viable here are Pate and Solaire. I'm pretty sure you can buy all of Pate's equipment from Grey Rat. And even if I do end up using Solaire, that would be an endgame thing. I might do it just for the memes, but I don't think I'm actually going to wind up using Solaire. I'm leaving myself access to Pate specifically because some of the NPCs I might have to use to get me through... or I intend to use to get me through some of the early game, you have to farm equipment for. And that is incredibly unreliable. Oh, Jan! Hello! How you doing? Come on, big guy. Come on, I'm leading you off a cliff. Come on! Come on, big guy! Don't you want to go off this cliff? Glad to hear you're doing well. Really? Couldn't throw me a bone there? There we go. I believe there was a soul over here I didn't pick up. I need, just for the early game, by the way, 28 dex and 24 strength. So I genuinely don't think I'm going to be able to touch health until Cathedral. Bright side, there's an NPC invasion I can actually use in Cathedral that's going to require a bit of vitality, I think. So I don't, slow roll. But shouldn't require any other stat investment on my part. And worst comes to worst, I think I am actually going to be skipping Curse Rotted Greatwood at the start. Because I'm not even going to be able to use any bosses as NPCs until Abyss Watchers. Or Dancer, technically speaking. But Dancer I cannot tackle before Vorge because that would softlock me. I would just completely lose the run. I'd have... Well, it wouldn't softlock me, but I would have to resort to Pate. Because without the transposing kiln, I can't actually, you know, get the boss weapons. Alright, I don't think I actually turned in my Estus shard.
What? Pretty be careful.
I'm mostly gonna run through the high wall at first. Ooh, 200 more and I can get another level. That is not a lot of souls. I might be able to do that relatively quickly. Only 200. Fading Soul, I will hold on to that. Cool. Oh, in order to get this run off the ground, I did disqualify Cornyx from the pool and started as Pyromancer. Which should not really bite me in the... It shouldn't bite me in the butt. Because of the 3 magic types, Pyromancy is the one used by the most NPCs. Well, Pyromancy and Miracles. There's a couple sorcerers, but... almost everyone here is either a quality build or a pyro or some kind of... I should get rid of that. Mix between a couple things and miracles. I'll still be buying pyromancies from him though, because I think he sells some of the ones that are needed for other, or in order to cosplay as other NPCs properly. I shouldn't have to kill Cornyx. However, there is a possibility that I will be killing Cornyx. The only NPC I intend to murder in cold blood is Yuria, because it's honestly just better to do that than not. Deserter? Damn it. I need a full set of deserter armor, essentially, as well, for Grey Rat. But from what it looks like, that mad Pyromancer Dunnel character in the DLC, Ashes of Ariandel specifically, uses... oh dear. Cornyx is set. So if I wind up using, or wanting to use Mad Pyromancer Dunnel, I will actually need to go kill Cornyx because I can't use Cuculus. Cuculus requires a summon, which sort of goes against the spirit of most challenge runs. Unless y'all are willing to allow that. Worst comes to worst, I can just sell. Is killing that worth it? Come on. This is not good. Looks like whether it's worth it or not, I'm gonna have to kill it to get past. Or actually. We bone away. Because that is way less than I would like to have in terms of flasks for facing one of those. I might be coming back for that though, because embers are useful. I'd like to manage 23 decks by the time I leave the high wall. I do that, and then Yule's 5 levels will give me the 28 I need for Uria's weapon. And I can sort of cheat with strength requirements in this game, as long as I two-hand. So the 24 strength is not as crazy a requirement. Since for the character that uses the butcher knife, the mad woman along the road of sacrifices, I won't actually need... the 24 strength. I'll just need to be able to bluff 24 strength by two-handing. if that makes any sense. Couldn't even wait for your friends to get up. It's not looking good for, getting the deserter set, though. The reason I need parts of the really want parts of the deserter set, is because of Grey Rat. While Grey Rat does wear the Thrall hood, the rest of his outfit is unobtainable within the game. The closest you can get is the deserter set, and considering I legitimately might need Grey Rat to get me past something, I may wind up having to farm a bit. Well, the rest of his equipment. The rest of his outfit is unobtainable in the game. You can actually very easily get your hands on a bandit knife. He sells them. I also could technically kill Patches at a few different points, but I'm not going to. Come on. Make your way over here. Because I can't... Oh dear. I can't actually remember what everybody sells. But I do know that killing merchants is rarely a good idea. Because you might need something from their stock later. And somehow Patches is actually less slimy than the handmaid. One, two, three. Oh, hi. Okay, Uchi's actually doing pretty well. I might want to just run past that guy up there, though. Or sneak. Okay, so sneaking doesn't work. Sneaking does not, in fact, work. A shame. However, I can still do that. I don't particularly want to... I don't want to waste these souls. I cannot afford to waste souls in this run. Especially not this early. So I can't... I really shouldn't trigger the Drake just yet. Do-do-do. Okay. I'm going back to the bonfire and teleporting. Because, or actually no, I don't need to go back to the bonfire just yet. I'm going to be doing melee mostly, oh dear, which is not something I'm particularly used to. Why are you over there? You're supposed to be right where I can easily drop down on top of you and split your head open. Come on. Oh. Uh-oh. There we go. I need like 400 more. We're just not going to mess with you blowing up this entire room. Throwing knife. Mailbreaker. And that's Grey Rats, but I can't rescue him yet because I don't have the key. As far as souls go, I still need like 300 or 400. Where can I easily get 400 souls? Oh, soul of a deserted corpse, nice. That was sad. Where are you? Where are you? Which one of you stands up? While normally fighting those would be worth it, I don't want to lose my souls right now because I can't. And I need you more because Raw Gem, while not particularly helpful right now, is probably going to wind up being very helpful for something that has very high scaling but low base stats later. Particularly if it's something I don't have the best investment in. Or if what it scales in is something I don't particularly have the best investment in. Alright, firebomb, and that is enough. Yeah. How did you survive that? I wouldn't have noticed that you didn't die if you just stayed down. Oh well. Back to Firelink for another level. And then go across and trigger the dragon. Or not dragon, Drake. I need a ton of souls, so this is going to be a particularly grindy... This is going to be a very grindy run. Because I'm gonna need a bunch of... I need almost 30 dexterity almost immediately. And then I need to start pumping strength. Oh, wait. I believe you actually show up now. I can start your quest. You're going to be a late game NPC at the very earliest, because following Cirrus's questline actually gets me more NPCs than following yours does. And I'm actually not joking. Cirrus's questline gives you a ton of NPCs. At the end of it, you get Cirrus herself. You also get Creighton pretty early on. And you get Hodrick towards the end. And that's 3 compared to Leonard's 1. Technically, I could also get Hazel. But she is going to be late game no matter what. Because you can only get some of her equipment off early on. You can get the Hazel Pick and Xanthus Crown pretty early. However, the rest of the Xanthus set actually isn't available until you give the Xanthus Ashes to the Handmaid. And I think those are found fairly late. Deserter Armor, thank you. I need Deserter Trousers. Oh dear, I really can't afford to mess with the Mimic right now. Ember, very much appreciated. But Creighton, for Cirrus's quest, can actually be obtained almost immediately after entering Aerothel. So if nothing else, as long as I don't mess up the Creighton part of that questline, I'll have an NPC for Pontiff. But again, I have to follow Cirrus's questline for that, which means I can't follow Leonard's. Actually, I'll be able to do Leonard's after Aldrich if I reject Cirrus, I think. Because if you reject Cirrus, if I'm remembering this correctly, she actually winds up going hollow. And you can find her later. Which is a little heartless, but it's also much better for this run than waiting until after Twin Princes for multiple NPCs. Because Orbeck I'm definitely saving for that. Or Orbeck is definitely one of those ones I'm saving for late game. I'm also intending to save Carla for a while. Because Carla actually has 2 late game bosses that she's going to be very good against. And Orbeck... Not gonna lie, I might wind up using Orbeck versus Midir. Okay, I know I said I'd get to this later, but the reason that the teachers are going to be particularly broken NPCs for this run is because I'm going to allow them to use any spell that I have in their shop inventory. Granted, I'll only be able to use them once. But that's still a remarkably versatile one use. And there's 3 teachers, considering I've already disqualified Cornyx. Alright, what we're gonna do... I could fight you legit. Or I could use this ladder to make your life not very pleasant. I am Mimic, King of the Ladders. And you shall bow before me. Don't mind the eyebrows. I was trying to make it look like Mimic didn't have a face. I failed. I think the Mimic might have gotten some things mixed up. Because it's just sort of walking in place here. Hold on. Come on, I know you know how stairs work. Come on. Just completely missed the grab. Come on, go back into your little treasure chest form. I could fight you legit, but this is funnier. There we go. For some reason, if it's caught on furniture, it apparently just won't go back into being a chest. The one I'm worried about catching the attention of is that knight. While I know I could take out a knight, they are incredibly tanky for this early on, so I don't particularly want to. Come on, I'm technically in the next room over. Please go back to being a treasure chest mimic. Are you serious? It got caught on a box again. Whatever. There we go. Like I said, I knew I could take it out in melee. I was just trying to be funny. And the Mimic had other plans. Cool. I can go back to Firelink and level up with this many souls. And then I essentially sprint to get to the key where, or the key that I used to save Grey Rat. Grey Rat I really can't afford to kill because if I wind up... Like, this is one of those ones where it will screw me over if I kill him. Because he's not a merchant yet. Cool, 2 more levels in Dex. And I can start worrying about strength. At least until I get to Yoel. Which might be immediately after the 2 levels. Go on. I'm not even gonna bother with any of you. I can't afford to waste souls, and this would definitely be wasting souls if I were to engage in combat with all of you. You, I will take. I'm gonna have to come back through here a few times, because there's... I just missed the Astora Straight Sword, and while I don't intend to actually use the Astora Straight Sword, it's a useful thing to have on hand in case I need to sell it. Move! And I died of fall damage. And this would be why I didn't really want to go normally. Again, I know I can take out a lot of this stuff normally, but doing so takes time, and if I die, I lose all those souls. Can't believe I ran past the Astora Straight Sword. Ow. And I have to come back down here a 3rd time because I didn't even get the key. Maybe taking that knight out would be the smart thing to do. Nah. Taking out that knight would just give me more souls to lose. Oh, I completely did not notice you. And there is loot in that room. There we go. Okay. I might be able to do this, actually. I might be able to do this. How did I not get noticed by that angel? Okay, I almost just died. But honestly, getting this loop around in the same swoop I got the key in is kind of worth it. Now I just need to make it back to a bonfire. Because I can go save Grey Rat. Because I think the deserter set is only a shirt and trousers, and since I have both of those, unless Grey Rat is wearing some gloves that I don't know about, because again, his stuff is actually completely unobtainable in game, but I need to bend the rules a little bit if I have the stuff for that, just because that gets me an extra NPC to play around with. Oh, shoot. Not good, not good. That is really not good. Up we go, or not. That is probably my first time dying in such a stupid way. Well, that particular stupid way. Chappy. Deserted trousers. Interesting. I do actually need to fight on my way down to Grey Rat, though. For a couple different reasons. First of all, these are some very close quarters areas. And narrow corridors are the last place you want to get, well, caught in. And second of all, if something chases me all the way down to Grey Rat, I'm not going to have time to admire his drip before talking to him. Okay, it doesn't look like Grey Rat is actually wearing gloves. So, drip test. Okay, yeah, it's not exact, but this is the closest we're gonna get. He has... Or actually, is it exact? Huh. Well, either way, close enough. If I get a Thrall Hood, I have Grey Rat in my, available NPC pool.
Very active.
I just need the Thrall Hood now, and then I have pretty much Grey Rat's whole thing. I don't think he uses a shield. I think it's just a bandit's knife. Which, a knife and no shield is a little concerning, but whatever. This is risky. But I'm gonna go for it anyway. This is incredibly risky, but I'm actually gonna go loot the angel room. Alright, and you're climbing? Yes, you are, like a complete and utter fool. 600 souls isn't much in the grand scheme of things. Well, it's 700 now. But that's still an awful lot to lose when you need to buy equipment. Because there are only two ways to get a bandit's knife that I know of in this game. One of them is by killing Grey Rat, and the other is by buying it from him. But there's a lot of embers around here that are incredibly handy things to possess. Or, I say a lot, but there's two embers, and embers are, again, really handy. Taking out that angel would be risky, but it would also be kind of worth it, because I think that drops a ton of souls. It's a late game enemy though, so I'm almost guaranteed to die. Yeah, I shouldn't risk it. That's one of those things you sneak around unless you have a very good reason to not sneak. Come on. Oh dear. There we go. Okay, not even joking, that is my first time taking one of those out in melee. Like, I knew it was possible, it's just... Those are really tough. Particularly for early game. Oh, the door's already open. Cool. Not gonna trigger Dancer because that would outright require me to use, the Pate. Is it Lucerne or a normal halberd that I find up here? Lucerne, okay. I'm gonna book it straight for Vort in a bit, but I've got some prep to do. I don't want to use up all of my... Oh dear. Come on, Mimic! Homeward Bones. Using up all of my Homeward Bones would be disastrous. Honestly. Because I'd need to get past Osiris in order to get the Coiled Sword Fragment. And each one of these is 500 souls. So yeah. Not good. A mission mode. Back to Firelink.
Oh, and just...
200 more souls. Okay, so that wasn't even 500. It was... Why did I think that the knife was 500? Actually. Now that I think about it, that was incredibly stupid. I need 200 souls. I can get that pretty easily from over here. So long as the fog lets me through! Come on! Thank you! I do understand why it takes so long to load that, but at the same time, come on. Okay, I need 20 more souls. You up here should be good. Ah, nobody was chatting. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. I'm actually curious here. So the two best ones to start out as would have been Pyromancer and Cleric. I started off as Pyromancer for the balanced stats, the Swamp Ring for later, and the fact that of the three kinds of magic, pyromancy is the one most used by NPCs.
Goodbye.
Would the rest of you have started Pyromancer or started Cleric? Because Cleric doesn't even really get good. You don't really get good offensive miracles until you hit Farron Keep. Because I think that's the first time you get a lightning miracle. Oh, I should also clarify what I consider to be a boss. If it has an arena and a boss health bar, it is a boss. If it does not have an arena and a boss health bar, it is not a boss. Why did I come here? The reason I'm making that specific distinction is because I'm almost guaranteed to need Havel's Ring. And in order to get Havel's Ring, I'm going to need to take out the damn Stray Demon. But if I take out the Stray Demon, I don't have, and I count it as a boss, I don't actually have enough characters to get past Abyss Watchers. At least not without resorting to Pate. So it is only a boss if it has a boss arena and a boss health bar. Can you go up the stairs already, please? I just want to book it to the elevator. Or actually, I might have access to that, actually, because there's the two... I don't exist. Move along. What? Ah. But depending on which... I think I'm actually going to wind up giving Arena... Oh dear. The Dark Miracles this time. Because... I'm allowing the teachers for this to use any spell in their shop inventory. But, mic gone off. Okay then. I We'll take that. I legitimately couldn't see. I'd gotten stuck in a corner. So, yeah, I guess I'll take that. I legitimately could not see what was going on with Vort, so, yeah, I'd gotten caught in the corner. I realized I was probably dying there. But I will definitely take killing Vort and getting an ember for my troubles. That is definitely something I will take. I just hope I also got the souls. Let's go. I did get the souls. Okay, and now as soon as I get access to another NPC, I can no longer use Swordmaster. I'm going to allow myself to stay on Swordmaster until I get to that point, just so that I'm not walking around with absolutely nothing to my name. Or, well, to Mimic's name.
Farewell, Ashen Maiden.
Inventory. I can't use anything from Vort's soul anyway. I mean, I could technically use the ring. But unless a character is specifically stated to have had a ring, a specific ring at some point, I'm not going to count it. And I can't use Vort anyway. I don't think Dancer would have had that eye specifically.
Welcome. Very that hates.
Cool. 200 more, and that's a level in strength. So let's go do that real quick.
Ashen Maiden.
I might actually want to upgrade the bandit's knife a bit. I don't want to upgrade anything a ton. Once it comes to late game, I'm going to want to use +8, +9 stuff. But in the early game, I can only use up to +3 anyway. Well, that happened. Ow. Oh, as I was saying earlier, I intend to actually give Irina the Dark Miracles this time because that adds more versatility to her stock and her character as a result. Carla is already a very versatile caster. 95. I should go through here real quick. So getting more versatility for Carla is not exactly necessary. She can use fire and dark damage. There's multiple characters that she's going, or multiple bosses she's going to excel versus. Maybe not the Ringed City, but I could use her against Nameless. I could use her against Frida. Or I could use her against the sock itself. Arena is a little more niche. I could technically use her against Madeir, but I'm considering using Orbeck there just because, I mean, Pestilent Mist. Come on. Sure, Pestilent Mist takes a long time.
Welcome, speak. Very then haste.
There we go. Strength 13.
Farewell, Ashen One, maiden.
Honestly, the one I'm worried about being kind of a wall is actually Wolnir. Because even if I skip Curse-Rotted Greatwood, then I have an extra character for... I have the same amount of characters for Wolnir regardless, actually. Because if I skip Curse-Rotted Greatwood, I have only access to the ones I could have gotten beforehand. And Horus. If I kill Curse-Rotted Greatwood, though, I essentially trade one of those characters for Abyss Watchers. And I'm definitely going to want to kill Curse-Rotted Greatwood at some point, because the Farron Greatsword is actually a weapon I'll be able to use twice. Once as the Abyss Watchers, and once as Deserter Hawkwood. So that's going to be probably one of the most valuable weapons of the run. Technically, I could go with Hawkwood's initial loadout for him. But he still wears the Legion armor anyway, so it's probably just smarter to use the Farron Greatsword twice. Of course, I can't use Hawkwood himself twice. That would be stupid. Or, that wouldn't be stupid, but that would be cheating. I'll be able to use the Exile armor twice, once as, well, one of the exiles, because I'm only allowed to do one, or I'm only allowed to use one exile, and once as Horus. The early game is going to be the toughest part to get through, actually, because I'll be spoiled for choice once I hit mid-game. There's like 10 more NPCs I can copy in this game than there are bosses to face. So, like, once I hit Irithyll, I think, is when I actually really start getting a bunch there. Okay, let's go get those 5 levels from Yule. We're gonna use those to push me up over the 28 dexterity requirement for Dark Drift.
Be safe.
Because Dark Drift... Okay, now that I'm in the Undead settlement, I only have a few different... I could resort to Pate. I could get myself a Thrall Hood, so I could be Grey Rat. Or I can be Uria. Those are my three options. I'm hoping that the Thrall Hood doesn't wind up taking that long to get, because I'd actually like to save Uria. I think if I can save Uria for Wolnir or Abyss Watchers, that would be ideal. I'm gonna be tackling... I'd like to tackle Cathedral first, just because... I think it makes more sense to do that. And obviously I'm not going to be killing Siegfried. Well, actually, maybe not obviously. If I kill Siegfried, I lose access to a Titanite slab later. You can actually still be Siegfried for the Yorm fight by just not giving him back his equipment until after you kill Yorm. Just leave him stuck in the well and then follow his questline. I could be wrong, but I think you can still get the Titanite slab if you do that. Titanite slabs are going to be really needed for late and end game.
Be safe.
Because everything in the late game takes so much damage. Having access to Abyss Watchers, I'm legitimately considering actually tending the Farron Greatsword and just using Abyss Watchers and Hawkwood both in the late game. Or, sorry, not tending, fiving. Because if I'm remembering correctly, Farron Greatsword is actually pretty good. And it's also... the only weapon I'm really going to be able to use twice, I think. Or actually, maybe not. I'll have to check my notes. Oh, speaking of my notes, I should cross off Swordmaster. Because having access... It would really be really embarrassing if I forgot to cross off a character and then just didn't have access to them. And then used a character I'd already used to beat a boss. And have to start the entire run over because I broke my own rules. I think weapons I actually won't be able to use more than once, with the exception of the Farron Greatsword.
Be safe.
I could... Again, I could be wrong about that. And obviously I'm not going to put a lot of investment into weapons that I only get, or obviously I'm not going to be putting a lot of investment into early and mid-game weapons. I'm going to try to scrape by with as few upgrades as possible on all of them. That will sort of allow me to splurge a bit in the late game. Especially considering that in the late game I'm not really going to have much to spend my souls on regardless. I'm going to have to buy a lot of stuff, so I need to find a few really good soul farming spots. And probably just grind souls off stream a lot. What am I doing? I think I can actually get another level from Mule right now.
Then bet.
27.
Be safe.
Wait, what?
I then shall bear.
Oh, cool. It lets me do that again.
You have all.
Cool. Uria is definitely going to be an expensive NPC, so I'm gonna run around the Undead settlement and see if I can't get myself a Thrall Hood first. Once I unlock Farron Keep, I actually wind up with a lot more in the way of, well, I actually wind up with a decent Souls Grind spot. But still, the best spot to potentially get a Thrall Hood is that one section. I'm fairly certain everybody who's played this game knows what section specifically I'm talking about. I'm gonna be running like a lunatic through Cathedral. No Thrall Hood. I don't want to use up Uriad yet. Using up Uriad is kind of a worst case scenario at this point. Because it means I have to do one of two things. Either tackle Abyss Watchers as my next boss, or use her up on an easier boss and tackle something else. And tackle Abyss Watchers with someone else. Because I don't want to use Uria as on anything that is not Abyss Watchers or Wolnir. If I use Uria anywhere else, I am probably not going to have a good time against Abyss Watchers or Wolnir. You know what? Risky, but... Come on, I need worker hats, too. That Estus shard is going to be handy. But I need a worker hat for a later NPC. Actually, I forgot. Because there's an NPC... One of the early NPCs. There's actually 3 NPCs I get access to that aren't resorting to Pate. And I completely forgot until just a second. But the mad woman along the path, she counts. The cannibal. She wears a worker hat and drops her own weapon. So she actually would not be... She's the reason that I need a bunch of strength, actually. But she wouldn't be a bad pickup. Problem is, I need to get a hat. Which means either a lot of grinding Undead Settlement, or just getting lucky. Oh, damn it. I should have been more careful. That's more souls than I'm comfortable losing. Like, a lot more souls than I'm comfortable losing. I also have to remember to be embered for Fair and Keep. Because if I'm not embered for Fair and Keep, then I won't be invaded by the Pale Shade. Which might not sound that crazy. But Pale Shade is one of those ones that is probably going to be very helpful for a specific DLC boss. Because I think the mannequin claws deal bleed. And I can't use Pale Shade if I don't get both invasions. Worker hat, there we go. That unlocks the Mad Woman the Mad Woman Cannibal. Are you gonna be nice and drop the Thrall Hood? No. Oh boy. I think at this point I might actually just want to put on the Ring of Sacrifice. And now I sprint for this. Ow! Damn it. Well, it's not like any of them dropped what I needed anyway. 3,145. How many more souls do I need for a level? A lot. Okay. Still, though. Getting access to the Mad Woman is huge because all I have to do for her is get some more strength, which is going to cost a lot of souls, and kill her along the road of sacrifices. To get access to Uria, I need to farm. And I also need to farm a bit if I want access to Grey Rat. In Yuri's case and the Mad Woman's, it's farm souls. In Grey Rat's case, it's farm a specific item. Which is why I'm a little nervous. Actually, I think it's these two that have dropped the worker hat for me every single run I've gotten it. Do you just have a guaranteed drop of dropping for worker stuff? Alright, for if I need to. Oh, cool. You drop down. That is nice to know. Because that's one less I have to deal with when going up that way. 4,000, okay, 1,000 more, and I should actually be able to get another level in strength. I don't know what died, but thank you for your sacrifice. Okay. Okay, you didn't drop anything. Drop the hat, please! If I get myself a thrall hood... that gets me access to Grey Rats. And Grey Rat would be a very nice NPC to have access to this early on in the run. For a couple different reasons. First of all, it means that I can hold off on using both Yuria and the Mad Woman for a little bit. Which also means that I wouldn't have to farm them yet. Or farm for them yet. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But it would also give me a weapon with high bleed against potentially Crystal Sage. Which could be nice. I think I am just going to skip the Greatwood and come back later. Probably after Abyss at the earliest after Abyss Watchers. Are you kidding me? Like, are you actually kidding me? Unfortunate. Because the Greatwood would be a nice pick-me-up in terms of souls. But it also will... Oh, hey, another worker hat. Take someone out of the pool. And depending on who I wind up taking out of the pool, I could wind up facing Abyss Watchers or Wolnir with fat rolling. Because there's a lot of NPCs in this stretch that require vitality investment to roll normally. And Havel's Ring will make that a little easier on me. But I'm still going to need vitality investment. Oh dear. Like, no matter what with this run, I'm going to need investment in so many stats. Rosaria is going to be divine. Although I'm not certain I can pull off the infinite respec glitch. You gonna come down? No? Okay. Aha, you did come down. Brilliant. Drop your hood, please. I just want your hat. That's all I need. I'm getting phenomenal luck with the workers, but I need one thrall hood. And the game is refusing to give me a thrall hood. Back to Firelink, kill Yuria. Well, level and then kill Yuria. And go from there.
Farewell, Ashen One.
Because I believe it's sold by the Handmaiden. Actually, I should double check that just to make sure her set is actually sold, because otherwise that's one less NPC I have access to. Okay. If she doesn't drop, or if her set doesn't show up at the Handmaiden, blame the wiki. Out.
At least my cadaver shall have it.
Oh dear. Well, now that I've got her aggroed, I should be able to lure her over to the doorway. Unless she despawns and I messed up. But if I can get her out here... then... I can cheese her, because she's actually really tough. I'm hoping that she doesn't despawn. She doesn't. Good. Come on. Because she's blocked. Like, she is hard aggro walled. You're seeing this. Ah, damn it.
Peasant. At least my cadaver shall not kin.
Okay. This is going to be difficult. I should definitely, at the very least... Or, hang on a second. I might be able to lure her off of some high things at some point. Come on. Yeah, you are out for blood. Where'd you go? Come on, can I lure you off of that, or are you going to just take a path? She just took a pathway. I was hoping I could lure her off of the, I was hoping I could lure her into taking fall damage, but apparently that's not the case. Why is it taking so long for you to load? Yeah.
Peasant. At least thy cadaver shall little kindling make.
I legitimately might put the pyro glove back on for this just to make it go faster, because this is going to be a lengthy run regardless. Like, I don't want to do it. And if I wind up doing it, it'll be after I've been stuck on here for a while. Because at this point, I can't progress without either killing her or getting a thrallhood. Or resorting to Pates. If I have to cheat a little to make Uria happen, I have to cheat a little to make Uria happen. Or actually, hang on. I know Swordmaster doesn't use firebombs, but I never did make an or make a rule about firebombs. Not that they're helping. Come on. Are you kidding me? Come on. She's blocking. She takes so much damage. I should not have antagonized her, probably. Yeah, this isn't gonna go well. Come on. Come on, I need your sets. Nope. Come on. Nope. Come on, come on, come on. What? How many Estes do you have? Oh dear. Come on. That is not what I meant to hit. Okay, cool. You're out of Estus. As long as I don't goof, I've won. Uh-oh. Holy shit, I thought I was dead. I legitimately thought I was dead. Come on. I need to be able to punish you. By the way, Yuria, thank you for having so much bloodlust that you don't despawn. Because losing access to you because you despawned would have sucked. I'm not falling for that. Come on. I mean, this already kind of sucks, but... Oh dear. Come on, I need you to do something like use your skill. Yeah, I wasn't messing with that close. Okay. Yuri's Ashes and Dark Drift. Dark Drift is the whole damn reason I needed the 28 dexterity. For some reason, this weapon has a kind of a ridiculous requirement in that regard. But with that, I now just need to grind souls for her outfit if I want to use her, which I don't want to do.
Pretty be careful.
Okay, how much? I forgot. Okay then. Oh, the chain helm I'm actually going to want later because Hawkwood wears that. Armor, I need... Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna buy that for now, just so I don't forget later. And then sell some stuff. Mailbreaker nobody uses. Nobody uses regular longswords. Broadsword I shouldn't sell. I think someone uses a rapier. It's a great club that's used. Nobody uses a hand axe. Was it battle axe or great axe? And nobody uses lucerne. I don't have any archers on the list. And the chimes are for later. Caduceus is not used. I don't need two of these. I don't need the worker gloves at all. Or the trousers. I only need one pair of deserters. And that allows me to get that at least. Yeah, needless to say, we're going to be grinding no matter what. I'm trying to think of a good spot to grind. I could technically run through and get access to Abyss Watcher's Arena. But that's incredibly risky. Oh dear. Only 66 souls from these guys. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of off-stream soul grinding for this run. Why do I do these things to myself? Okay, these ones give 100. This room might actually not be bad. Oh, nope, you did not give anywhere near as much as the other one for some reason. I pretend that entire courtyard does not exist. And make my way over here. Honestly, best case scenario, one of these... one of the thralls up here drops a thrall hood finally, and I don't have to worry about grinding for Uria. But I really should not still be Swordmaster at this point. Come on, get over here. Get down here. Get down here. You stupid thrall, I want your hat! As, grinding for Uria's set is gonna take a while. It's a total of 14,000 souls I still need. Which is a lot of souls and a lot of grinding, so I'd really rather one of you just drops the hood so I can be Grey Rat for a bit. Please? I never have this much trouble getting a Thrall hood. I legitimately never have this much trouble getting a damn Thrall hood. I almost always get one immediately from the one with the greatsword. And this is the highest concentration of thralls I have access to at the moment. As boring as this probably is, I'm going to have to just grind here for a little while. Because I really should not progress any further until I have another NPC that I can be. Uh-oh. Hang on. For 24 strength... How much am I going to need in order to bluff 24 strength? Because I'm more than halfway. Oh, Piku! Hello! How you doing? Currently I'm grinding because I actually did run out of my NPCs. I have 3 that I could be, but all of them require some grinding to acquire. Or, well, I have 2 I could be. And until I get one of those 2, I can't go get the 3rd. I worded it specifically as I have to do it for boss fights. Specifically so that in situations like this where I had nobody else NPC-wise that I could be, I wasn't just dead in the water as far as the run goes. I could also buy Pate's stuff from Grey Rat, but I really don't want to do that. Oh dear. Because Pate is from a previous game. This being a sequel, that's allowed. However, only if I have absolutely no other choice. Would you please just drop your hat? Hey, you. Come on, over here. You little... I just want your hat. You'll be able to live in relative peace once I have your hats. Please, just drop your damn hat! Oh dear. Oh dear. I would very much like to do that. I'm not even joking. I would love it if I could snatch the hat off of their heads. Unfortunately, this game does not have a thievery mechanic. If this was Skyrim, I would have already pickpocketed the damn things. Hang on, where's the last one of these? Where did I miss a thrall? There should be one more. Oh, okay. I remember really liking Oblivion, however, it's not the most fun to watch. I'll have to come up with... they had a physical copy, nice. My dad actually... well, not my dad. Because my dad loved the original Oblivion so much, and he specifically said he wanted the remaster, my mom, sister, and I got him a copy of Oblivion Remastered for Father's Day. That one is unfortunately digital only. Yeah, Oblivion is really good, but I'll have to come up with some kind of challenge run for it, because generally speaking, the combat isn't that engaging. Like, I liked Oblivion when I played it on the PS3. I do want to play the remaster, but I'm also aware that I'll one of these days I will be playing the remaster, just because why not? It's on the system, may as well play it. But the combat and puzzles aren't the most engaging. Yeah, I get it. I really do get it. I prefer to have physical as well. But sometimes I settle for digital because either... Oh dear. There isn't a physical copy. Some games just don't have physical copies. But I really want to play the game. Or... I don't have anywhere safe to put it. Oh dear. I'd rather deal with some slight annoyance regarding the game copy being digital than wind up really sad because I couldn't store it in a safe place and, like, my dog got to it. Come on. Fall down. However, physical is definitely superior. Do up here. Still no hood. Ah, damn it. That's not good. That is a lot of souls I just lost. That is so not good. That is really not good. Really, really not good. Because that is almost enough to buy another piece of Yuria's armor. And I need her armor in order to make this work. Oh, serious question? Fair enough. What is this serious question? Oh dear. No. No, in order to do things like a one-shot build, you would pretty much, at the very least, need Power Within. And Power Within is only available once you get to the Grand Archives. You'd probably also need Hyper Mode. Which would mean Red Tear Stone, which is also in Lothric Castle. Or actually, wait, you already have... You're on Twin Princes, aren't you? So, okay, theoretically, you might be able to set up a one-shot build if you make your way through the Grand Archives. I believe the two specifically that you're stuck on are Twin Princes and Nameless. Is that correct? Yes? Alright. Okay, both of those can't be one-shot, technically. You'll have to settle for one hit per phase. Okay. Let me just lure one of you over here. Also, Frida. Frida's gonna be the hard one. Because the problem with Hyper Mode is that you need to be at low health to utilize it. I can't remember if it's called Hyper Mode, if it's just... Hi. Please don't drop anything, actually. Okay, I think the highest damage output you could get with a strength build would honestly be to get a weapon that works. If you can hit the soft cap in strength, that's great, like 40 or 50 I think it was. Two-hand the weapon, but make sure you have Power Within active and are in Red Tear Stone range. Red Tear Stone requires you to be at low health, but it's like a 30% damage bonus or something like that. And Power Within is also a huge damage bonus. However, it takes... Okay. Then yeah, two-handing... Make sure you two-hand your weapon. You're going to need the Pyro Flame for Power Within. Because Power Within is a Pyromancy. It takes... I believe I've never actually used it in this game. I used it in the original Dark Souls. But I believe even in this game, it is still 1% of your health for every 100 seconds. So you will have to heal, which will probably put you out of Red Tearstone range. But while you have both Red Tearstone and Power Within active, you are going to hit like a truck. If you really want to min-max, you could max your strength completely, but I'd actually recommend doing that at Rosaria instead of doing that. I'll buy that for later. Legitimately. Because I believe with two-handing, strength can actually go over the 99 cap. I could be wrong about that, and that could only apply to Elden Ring, though. Sometimes the specific mechanics of the specific games get a little mixed up. But while you have Red Tearstone and Power Within active, with a strength, or with a weapon that scales high in strength and has high base stats, you're going to hit like a truck. Okay, Red Tearstone you should have. It was very clearly in the room right, one of the Twin Princess shortcuts. Or, well, the shortcut to Twin Princes, it's right there. Right near Kaitha's Chime, if I'm remembering correctly. You just have to do... You might have to do a little bit of platforming to get the ring. Power Within is also in the archives. And it's behind a bookshelf that only gets moved with a lever. In the dark room. Don't ask me where specifically the lever is, I forget where it is myself. I just know that the lever is in the dark room and the bookshelf it moves is also in the dark room. That's how you get access to Power Within and Witch's Locks. For Twin Princes, you could also get a weapon buff that adds lightning damage to your weapon, since they're weak to that. Nameless is weak to dark, though he takes more damage from fire than he does a lot of other things. And Frida, you're better off using fire in the second phase, I guess, if you're going elemental. I actually don't know if she can be poisoned. If she can be poisoned, that's huge, because poison's pretty easy to get your hands on. Please, just drop your hat so I don't have to put more souls into this right now. But yeah, the highest, and as for rings, well, in addition to Red Tear. Oh, come on! What? Did another one just fall? Okay, and you? Can you please drop the hat? None of you? I believe I believe the Knight's Ring ups your strength even further, but I don't... If you max out your strength at 99, that isn't going to help you at all anyway. Let's see. If you use weapon skills, use the Farron Ring, because that reduces the FP consumption of skills. Which will allow you to get more, well, skills off. If you're using elemental damage, you could go for a clutch ring, but those are risky because they make you take more damage. Prisoner's Chain is also really good, but it does make you take more damage. Actually, Piku, are you streaming today? Because if you are, then I can raid you when I'm done with this and just backseat. Guide you to some of this stuff. Cool, then we'll go with that plan. I'm not going to want to stream myself farming for much longer anyway. I'll have to do some of that off stream. But we've still got about a half hour. Hey. Alright, and with these two, I'll be able to get the next part of Uria's outfit. Which might actually be the last one. I'll still be farming for a Thrallhood just because I'd rather burn Grey Rat than Uria. But if I can, at the very least... Oh dear. Get the souls, I can farm for Grey Rats as Uria. Really? Really? That's just cold. Okay, let's check this, actually. Okay, I did not buy that, but I do have the build mask and the gloves, so I'm still missing 2 pieces of Uria's armor, not 1. Oh dear. Fire gem. Interesting. I'm going to allow myself to infuse as I see fit. Because some NPCs are going to wind up needing all the help they can get against certain bosses. For example, I'm not expecting Horus to do much of anything. Horus is one of the ones I'm going to be most eager to burn or just never use. Because he has such a high equip load, I'm not sure that even with Havel's Ring I'll be able to reasonably mid-roll. I can't even use Horus on Deacons. Because you need to beat Deacons for Anri and Horus to show up in the Catacombs at all. I would honestly really like to just burn Horus immediately at Wolnir. But we'll see. Come on. Get down here. Drop down. We know you want to. We all know you want to drop down here. Come on. Where did it go? Hi. Come on. You've dropped down before. Do I have... Yeah, I'm just gonna lure you down here because that spot is atrocious. Oh dear. Well, it looks like it won the projectile war. Unless the firebombs will reach. And the firebombs reach. Did I just hang him with a fireball? Oh, what am I doing? I just hung him with a fireball. Okay. Okay. I mean, I know this is Dark Souls, but wasn't expecting it to go that dark. Are you oh shit, shit, shit. That's a lot of souls I just lost. I should have been able to kill that thing. Damn it. The whole reason I took that thing out with consumables was because I knew that it was going to be a rough spot. But at the same time, I should go rest. Oh, fuck. Back to the bonfire. Because I'm not taking chances this time. How did I know you were going to say that to Pico BZ? How did I know that your response was going to be, get good? Obviously, you can't cheese everything. I mean, you could, but sometimes it requires a lot more investment in time than you're willing to put in. For example, the menace cheese takes forever. You are honestly better off just fighting him. Please do not attempt that on New Game Plus. It is painful. Well, that... oh no. What? I got robbed there. I hitting the swing button, and Mimic wasn't swinging. What the actual fuck? Have to say, not really a fan of the Uchi. I mean, it's doing well. Well, there is Piku, even with hyper mode, there's still going to be a skill thing, because if you get hit once, you're dead. Red Tear Stone only activates at 30% HP and below. And Power Within is constantly draining your health, so if you have both of those going at the same time, you are unbelievably squishy. There we go. On Piku, check with Ludleth before you eat a boss soul. With a run like this, I already know what I can and can't use as far as boss souls go. Most of this playthrough is going to be routing. That's most of the challenges. Deciding who I'm going to use where and how I'm going to use them. Tank it till you make it is typically a viable strategy, but not with Twin Princes. I, for one, actually really like using boss weapons. And there's a certain... Fucking finally, thank you! Still gonna kill everything here, though. You made me lose a crap ton of souls for this early in the game. Feel my wrath. The strats isn't actually that complicated. It's difficult. It's definitely difficult. Because you have to essentially no-hit. I was just explaining the mechanics behind how they worked, but the strategy is literally just... Yes, it's level and bonk, but in addition to level and bonk, it's make sure you have low HP. And a certain spell active. can't believe I lost 4,000 souls. Anyway, bandit knife, thrall hood, and then the deserter equipment. And we are now gray rats. True. So I wouldn't go with anything colossal, just go with something big. Oh dear. Wait, what? VZ, what words are you talking about? VZ, the twin blades... Okay, let's put aside the fact that I don't like those. For now. I can't use them for this run because no NPC uses them. Or, wait, you were talking to Pico, weren't you? You're talking to Pico, okay. I have never been so happy to see a thrall hood in my life. That was kind of painful, and I'm so glad I actually ended up getting one. I don't like them. I, generally speaking, don't like meta regardless. If someone, as soon as someone says that it's the strongest, that's all people are going to use, and that gets boring. I've never even actually tried to use them because everybody says that they're broken, and everybody says that they should be used by everybody, and that is just so boring to me. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna unlock it, but I'm actually gonna skip Greatwood for now. Oh, hello, sir. How are you doing? Like, I'll use... That's not to say that I won't use something that's meta if I'm in a pinch. Uh-oh. Or even if I just want to live out a power fantasy. I just hate it when everybody's saying, oh, you need this one thing. You should want this one thing. This thing does the most damage. Because, yeah, but other stuff still works. You shouldn't be shitting on everything else just because it doesn't do the most damage. I see, I see. Well, thank you for the lurk. Alright, back to Cliff Underside. Because I need to go do some stuff. Well, I'm actually thinking that... Oh, thank you for giving the shout out, Pico. I think that I'm actually going to wind up trying to use Dancer versus Nameless. Crazy as that sounds. I'm about to get dogged. Come on, doggy. Up the stairs. But seriously, how you doing, sir? Alright, let me just... Uh-oh. Run! Because my life depends on it! Specifically look into the Farron Ultra Greatsword, honestly. Because I've heard that's actually really good. And they won't follow me this far, I don't think. Or maybe they will. Uh-oh. In that case... we're gonna do something a little reckless. The Farron one, the ones the Undead Legion uses. I've heard that that's pretty good. And that's honestly going to be one of the MVPs of this run because I think it's the only weapon I'll be allowed to use twice.
Then pray.
You find it boring? Okay, I've never actually used it. I mean, I think I did a quick moveset test. Because for my casual playthrough, I did wind up doing only boss weapons and spells for, New Game Plus 2. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't actually figure out how to do the spinny things. But it is going to be a weapon that I have to use for this run. And it's one that I'm going to be using twice because there's two separate characters that use it. There's, of course, the Undead Legion. But I'm counting Hawkwood as a separate entity, and in his final form, for lack of a better term, he uses the Farron Greatsword. So that's one of the few I'll be able to use twice. Oh dear. Damn it! Okay, with you standing right there, the rest of this is doable, but you standing right there is not nice and not pleasant. And I'm also very concerned about getting past the, Boreal Knight. Actually, now that I think about it... I'm skipping Curse Rod of Greatwood for now and coming back. Oh, thank you. I can deal with quite literally everyone else here, as long as I don't have to deal with you. Grab the ember. Oh dear. But I'm thinking that I'm gonna use Dancer versus Nameless, because A, I don't mind dying to Nameless a bunch. Nameless is my favorite boss in the game. So I legitimately do not mind dying to him a bunch. Uh-oh. And, Uh-oh. Damn it. And as Dancer, I will actually have, I think one of her swords does fire damage, which Nameless doesn't take as well. I unfortunately don't think I'll be able to parry Pontiff this time. Because I'm thinking that I'll be using Creighton as my NPC versus Pontiff. And I don't think Creighton has... Oh dear. A shield. But if I'm remembering correctly, the Dragon Slayer's axe is actually really good. And I don't think Pontiff has that high lightning resistance. Okay. Sekiro is great. Come on, get down here. I can... If you're down here, I can handle you. Come on. Don't you see me doing the ladder dance? Wow. Yeah, Sekiro's fun. Come on. I'm doing the ladder dance. There we go. I just need to get to Siegvard. Come on. Oh dear. Yeah, I've only parried a few times, and admittedly, most of them have been in Code Vein. Code Vein, you outright need to parry for some things. Okay. Siegvard of Katarina. There we go. And I actually want to go down because there's a bonfire back here. Yeah, Code Vein is actually the one that really got me into, Souls. I would not be playing the Souls genre if it wasn't for Code Vein. That alone gives me a bit of a soft spot for it. Because that's the game that helped me just get what turned out to be my favorite genre. Okay, you are going to be a problem, but I need to take you out. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, so this is doable. I just have to get good. Okay, and now we back off to heal. Wait for you to forget I exist. I might have made an error. But I have essentially a straight shot to that side passage if I can manage to clear you out. Because you think, Gwyn, don't respawn. Damn it. That delay. I almost had it. And then I goofed. Almost had it. And then I goofed. Oh dear. Grey Rat might have been one of the better ones I could have fought this with, actually. Because holy shit, that bleed. There we go. Okay, that allows me to get to the giants. Because that stupid thing does not respawn. Code Vein is probably the Souls-like I know the most about, honestly, at this point. And there's actually not a lot of people who do Code Vein challenge runs. So I'll definitely be going back and doing more of those. I've already done 2. One of my earliest runs on as a streamer actually was Code Vein support only. And of course I'm going to be revisiting that later and making it even more challenging for myself by only allowing specific companions. And recently I did a solo-only run. Which side is it? This one. I might have messed up here, actually. Oh well. Here's hoping demons can bleed, because I don't want to miss out on the Titanite slab from Siegfried's questline. Okay. Okay. I don't want to waste a number here. I'm gonna need to trigger specific invasions, so I need to make sure that I save my embers. So I have to essentially no-hit that thing. This will be interesting. This will certainly be interesting. I'm only going to give this a few more attempts, though, because I do need to pop into Piku's stream. Because I saw that she went live. Ah, I passed it. Okay.
On some... Right. How?
I want my souls. Because that was actually not an insignificant amount of souls. Alright, come on.
Should have waited. Too late now. I seek word of the Knights of Katarina. Fight by your side.
Ouch, 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 ouch. I get hit by that and I'm just dead, so let's not. That, I just got so lucky, I just got so lucky. Okay. Did that bleed?
That but we... To your val... Look.
But I don't want him to die because he'll later give me a Titanite slab, and those are pretty limited. Shoot. There we go. Okay, I'm swapping to a longsword specifically so I can hit that thing down. And then back to the bandit's knife for Grey Rat. 7,000. That's too much to risk. That is way too much to risk. Back to the shrine. I want to unlock the Greatwood and get what was it? I'm gonna need... I'm already planning on leveling strength, so I need more of that. But I need 4,000 for the leggings, and then I'm good. I can... And then Yuria is fully unlocked. So before I end today, I actually want to go in over here and get my hands on some things. Specifically the Undead Bone Shard. It doesn't really help me out much right now. Honestly, the only thing I want to leave for later in the game, as far as this goes, is the Greatwood, but I might wind up circling back around to the Greatwood relatively quickly. Because running through the Road of Sacrifices and Cathedral is going to get me a few NPCs. Oh dear. There we go. And then you. I forgot to actually talk to Grey Rat. I need to send him out to pillage a few times. Because I want him to have a full stock. Come on. Move it! Come on! I actually think that Crystal Sage might be a good one to fight as Grey Rat. It doesn't move around a lot, the clones are easily dispatched. And I think it can bleed. I'm not fighting the Greatwood right now because I'm just dead if I fight the Greatwood. This little knife is not going to reach where it needs to reach. But I definitely need to fight the Greatwood sometime around Wolnir and Abyss Watchers. Might take out Deacons first, we'll see. Definitely taking out Crystal Sage first. Ow. Good riddance. And then there's Ashes over here, I believe? Yeah, the Morticians. I don't want to trigger Hodrick's invasion. What I do want, however, is actually the Bloodbite Ring. I essentially want to full clear Undead Settlement with the exception of, the Greatwood. I messed up. Okay, or not. And then Upsy Daisy. There we go. Bloodbite Ring will help me out a lot because there's a lot of enemies, at least in this early section, that have bleed for some reason. $1,200 souls needed for the final piece of Yuri's outfit. That's not a lot. I should get that before I end just to Oh dear. Let me just do that. Just so that I don't forget about it and then wonder why I don't have all of Uria's clothes later. Because this is me we're talking about, and I am a very forgetful little bird. That's 36. And I also don't really want to use up any hard souls I've got right now. I'm going to need them later. Come on. I just need 300 more souls. Come be my victim. A victim! You only get... yeah, you don't give a ton. Which means I need to fight the big guy one more time. Because I think that one gave me 300. And then I will be done with farming for Uria. I'll have to farm strength, but at least that's levels. Shoot. What is 3/4 of 24? I think it's 16. No. It's not 16. Divided in half is 12. It's 18. 18. So I need 18 strength in order to bluff to 24. And then I can start putting some points into health. So I need 4 more levels in strength, and then I can level health for a little while. And that's, pardon, only if I was correct about the percentage of strength you need to two-hand a weapon. If I was wrong about that, then I might need more levels in strength before I can start looking at my health. Oh boy. Okay, and that officially unlocks Uria. Or wait, no, because I need to have the damn Dark Hand. How much is the Dark Hand? Oh boy. That's gonna need a boss fight or two. I forgot about the Dark Hand. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well... that is going to have to be a tomorrow problem. Because I'm calling it. If you're interested in anything I've done up until this point, I have a YouTube channel. You can check that out if you're interested. If you would like to see my announcements, I post them to Instagram. And if you'd like to see my clips in an easier fashion, I post them to YouTube, TikTok, and when it lets me, Instagram. The links to all of that are in the chat now. Tomorrow... oh, sorry. If you've made it this far and are curious to see where I go from here, why not drop a follow? It takes but one button press, and you can always change your mind if you decide my content isn't for you. I forgot to talk to Grey Rat. I need to progress your quest because I need to send you to pillage a few places.
Good morning.
talk to him again later, but for now, that does that. So yeah, this is definitely shaping up to be a very grindy run. I don't know if I'm going to wind up grinding off stream or on it. Probably off after I get to a certain point, because I need 12,000 souls in order to get that damn, Dark Hand. So at the moment, I am stuck with just Grey Rat, though I do intend to acquire... I legitimately might just grind that off stream tonight. But anyway, tomorrow we're going to be cleaning up the rest of the Undead settlement and heading into the Road of Sacrifices. Or actually, hang on. Can you be my savior? Hard souls, please. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough. In that case, I'll use all this and put whatever I get into strength, because I need the strength anyway. Oh! And they've also got an Estus shard. I need 20 more. Okay. Okay.
Ashen.
It wasn't.
Okay. So, yeah, tomorrow we'll just continue plodding along. I'm probably going to wind up grinding for Dark Hand off stream tonight. It's not going to be particularly pleasant. But what can you do? Wednesday, I'm going to be returning to my run of Hades 1. I've escaped once, but I need to do it a bunch more times in order to get the actual ending of the game. Like the final ending of the game. And Thursday and Friday, I'll be back to Hollow Knight Silksong. That one is a legitimate first playthrough. I guess the Hades one is as well, but that one's weird, okay? One moment. As I said before, I'm raiding Piku. She's playing Dark Souls 3, so stay tuned if you want to see her. I don't know if it's like first or just a casual run. One of the two. That said, happy time zones, everyone. Oh, thank you for the follow, Magus. And I hope you all have an excellent day.